So today I will be teaching my sister Carson how to play the game of chess. First, let's go over some of the basics. Chess is played on an 8 by 8 grid with a checkered pattern. You set up the game like this with one row entirely of pawns, and the back row goes rooks, knights, bishops, and then the queen is always on the opposite color, and the king is always on his color. Now let's go to the moves of every piece. First, the pawn. The pawn can go 2 spaces on its first turn, and only 1 space on every other turn. Keep in note that the pawn can go 1 space on its first turn. Now here's how the pawn attacks. The pawn can attack diagonally, like this. But there is one other way. It is called en passant, and it goes a little something like this. Let me do that one more time. This is when 2 pawns are right next to each other, so the white pawn goes behind the black pawn, and then you can take it. The rook can go diagonally or horizontally as many spaces as it chooses. The knight can go in a sort of L shape with going 2 spaces in any direction and just 1 space in any direction. So you can go 2 spaces up front, 1 space to the left, or 2 spaces up front and 1 space to the... No, this is left, this was right. Note that the knight is the only piece that can jump other pieces. Now the bishop can go diagonally as many spaces as it chooses. Now the queen is a combination of the bishop and the rook, in which it can go in any direction as many spaces as it chooses. Now the king is the most important piece of the game. Once one of the kings is taken out, the game ends, and the person who takes out the king wins. The king is like the queen, but it can only go in 1 space in any direction. Now we must discuss castling. Let me tell you the rules for castling. First, the king and the rook must have not moved the entire game yet, and the king could not be in danger at all. So here's how this works. The king would move over here, and the rook would move over here. Now let's play a small segment of a game just so that Carson can get the gist of the game of chess. And remember, white always goes first. As you hear, my dog is barking, so I think this would be a good time to wrap it up. So, thanks for your time, Carson, and thanks for watching.